guys, it's me for a short video that isn't ology or news, as it's kind of going to be the short one, supposedly a short one that I kind of didn't get around to doing during the Christmas holidays when I was doing like the videos like what is what is religion, what is terrorism, what's the difference between terrorism and a gang. So yeah, this one is kind of like a short, like standalone video on yeah. So today's video is like what the difference between religion and the cult. We're going over like what each of them are. So yeah, here we go. Now, religion is like kind of like a belief and worship of a superhuman controlling power. Like especially a personal god or god, says not every religion has only one god. So yeah. And it's like religion can also be like a particular system of faith and worship. Faith and worship and like pursuit of a followed interest followed with great devotion kind of thing. I might need to talk. I can talk while I'm putting Neil on downstairs. So yeah, I can probably talk about a bit about some of the major ones. So yeah, what I know about really like the different religions and all. Now there's the three Abrahamic religions, which is I like a nice tour of my house as well. The three Abrahamic religions are like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. So yeah, there's the most populous one, like you know what I mean, is Christianity, which most people kind of follow in to some extent and all. So like there's like the many branches. Each kind of like follow different books and all. And then there's like many different branches like Roman Catholicism, Church of England, the Greek Orthodoxy, Lutheranism. There's like so many different branches, it's kind of hard to know like all of them and what makes them like the way they kind of present it is kind of different. And then there's Judaism. As far as I'm aware, there's just kind of like the one branch of Judaism. And yeah, they have quite a survival story with like Hitler and many anti-Semitic people like him. And then there's Islam, which is well known for a few groups of terrorists around. No, don't go to terrorism, kids, whatever you do. Where they kind of like pray 5 times a day. at least the devout, kind of like devout ones, but like I know many Muslims myself, and it's like who don't kind of pray a couple of times a day, but don't always pray 5 times a day. But like, as it's kind of like hard to pray 5 times a day, like just get down and like pray 5 times a day, as like in school, education and all. And you can't really just stop praying in the middle of a lecture or class. So yeah. Then there's like Hinduism, which is like a lot of gods, which kind of originates from originates from India. Yeah, it's like, and then there's like the Baha'i faith, which I keep hearing but know next to nothing about. Then there's Zoroastrianism, which I also know little about. And yeah. And it's like apparently Jedi. And there's like some others like Mormonism, which is kind of like a Christianity, but not in the mainstream Christianity kind of way. And yeah. So yeah, religions are shared collections of transcendental beliefs that are passed down from believers to converts that are held to be adherent to actively meaningful and serious and based on like formal documents of doctrines, like an organised religion or an established cultural practice like folk religion. So like, and we'll talk more about that in a second, as we'll get to it eventually. And it's like in both forms, there are religious professionals, like the priest or kind of like the elder and all that, who embody like the formal aspects of the religion and can act in positions of leadership and governance. And there are like certain rituals reserved for them to carry out, which generate practical implications for how life should be lived. And it's like religion can include like spiritual explanations for our place in the world, in an attempt to answer the question of like why we are here, and like it also include like the worship of deities and or supernatural entities, including like our ancestors, as some tribes in like Papua New Guinea and all that kind of like worship the tribes and all that. And like the concepts of holy and sacred activities and ideas and objects, which there can be plenty of. And it's like either set rituals and calendar based events, and like that can be based on like the changing seasons and like distinctive dress codes for like religious professionals, and even codes of morality and actions that are given a mandate from a supernaturally great being, from a supernatural force, or from the will of the universe itself. And a cast of privileged and exalted professionals who have particular claims to be touched and with transcendental forces. So yeah, it kind of gives a backbone to how people should behave and act. So yeah, no, but even then, religion can be kind of hard to define, as like the human belief structure can be like so wild and varied and can be complicated. And it's like, and there have been attempts to define religion, but many can be too narrow or too wide. and so we still don't have a religion as definite definition of religion. And it's like many other definitions that can be biased towards cultural norms. So yeah, like in particular, like Western critical theism. Like William James, like one of the most respected surveyors of religion. He lectured in like well over over a century ago, in like 1901 to 1902. And said that the very fact that they are so many and so different from one another is enough to prove that the word religion cannot stand for any single principle or essence, but is rather a collective name. Not sure if it's Clover or not, like my sister or not. And so kind of as a result, it's kind of been probably impossible to come up with like a reasonable definition of. And this describes a variety of religions found across the east, like east-west, old-new kind of thing. And many people have given up trying to define religion like coherently. And like William James kind of gives space to opinion and said that man who knows religion most completely knows religion most completely troubles himself about a definition. And what can be counted as being religious and what counts as religion can change like from place to place and like over time. I'm kind of a little unfit after going up and downstairs trying to unlock the door. Like today can be confusing in the world. Like religion is a term that is denied by some of those that some people who the term encompasses. Like some people declare being Christians declare that Christianity is not like a religion but a relationship with Jesus. And like some people might say that Islam is not a religion, it is a way of life. For a lot of people, they probably agree that Buddhism isn't exactly a religion as such, especially not like over here. It's more of a way of thinking over a religion. And it's like in the same way of it can be said that most Hindus do not really realise that they belong to that religion. Or for it is a name given by like people who do not belong to that religion or whatever, which can be called outsiders. And it's like an academic author has previously said that they have lost count of how many times converts or adherents to such belief systems as paganism, Islam, Buddhism and Jehovah's Witnesses has said to me, it isn't a religion, it's a way of life. Thankfully most adherents understand the utility of words well enough to accept that they belong to a specific religions, and nowadays there is a strong Hindu awareness movement that hails a new generation of Hindus who consciously identify as belonging to a distinct religion too. The definition of religion declared here helps make it clear that religion denying adherents of religion are indeed religious in nature, even if some don't always acquiesce to the statement. I feel like religion can sometimes be separated from the person's individual belief system. And it's like all the previous in like mythology of science, in the sociology of religion from 2011. Says that a worldview, an ideology, an organisation, so an attitude, a set of values as moods and motivations, or as an ethical disposition can be kind of defined as religion. As like in the Penguin Dictionary of Religion says that religion is a general term used by most modern European languages to designate all concepts of beliefs in God or gods and goddesses, as well as other spiritual beings that are transcendentals, ultimate concerns. But it's like doesn't go far enough to say that it's religion, just religious beliefs. And it's like ideas are complicated, and almost everyone's understanding of religious, like almost every concept takes a unique character with a unique assumption. And features according to each individual. And if we set like the definitions that we've previously stated, it would mean every person would represent their own religion, and the word would become more or less useless. And like the Penguin definition and the Rees list of possible characteristics can lack engagement with the difference because personal belief and organised religion and personal beliefs. And therefore we mould beliefs into like common categories and all, and that can be considered religion. And like the simplified versions of beings are codified into being that they recognisably pass from person to person. And a scholar called Kenneth Cranmer is another author who phrases religion as to those being involved, like personal and communal experiences of sacred mystery and expressions of ultimate meaning, value and truth, but still leaves it open to the problem of mistakenly allowing personal beliefs to be conflated with religion as a whole. So like another one who was previously tried to define religion is like Steve Bruce in 1996. There's a sociology, by the way, and check out the sociology video. Religion then consists of beliefs, actions and institutions which assume the existence of supernatural entities with powers of action, or impersonal powers or processes possessed of moral purpose. You can probably find it in Religion in the Modern World, from cathedrals to cults. In 1996 book by the name Steve Bruce. And it's like the problem is that it can apply each individual's own concepts of reality, such as every person would be said to follow his own personal religion, which would be like at least 7, coming up to 8 billion at least, different religions. Even if trying to adhere to like a set system, all of our actual thoughts are unique to us, being an individual. So with like so many possible tangents and details that no two people would have like the same set of beliefs as each other, and for like this reason, like the shared collections and beliefs elements in kind of find like brings some order, like between like those who share like common beliefs, like that have been shared and passed on. Elements of beliefs that can be called a religion of sorts. Now this really, from this like another definition kind of arises like that from an anthropologist and sociologist, Lawrence A. Babb, who described religion as a kind of system that retains and transmits information in encoded and symbolic forms, and the transmission is what allows personal beliefs to become a religion. So yeah, still got a long way to go and we're nowhere done with religion yet. And it's like the use of religious adjective like can cause like many problems, from the wide uses of the word religion, where it can be used to describe almost anything that is engaged with passion and dedication. And it's like many names from like John Investigating Religion by John Bird have already been discussed by like sociologists, and like the positions of many personal beliefs and activities may be similar to religious beliefs and behaviours, or it doesn't actually make them religious. It's a bit like you can probably wear a headscarf and record a Muslim, but it doesn't mean that you believe and pray 5 times a day kind of thing. And it's like in John Byrne kind of went on to discuss football and football fanaticism, and says this. Robert Coles, 1975, asks whether it is legitimate for sociologists to regard football as a religious surrogate. Coles does not say that football is a surrogate religion, but he does say that many of the social processes going on in football grounds are likely those going on in religious worship. And it's like and he's like probably not the only one who kind of defined religion like widely. As he kind of said, in the opinion of some writers, an attitude might be called religious, though not. Oh, I know no touch were left in it, or sacrifice or submission, no tendency to flexation, no bowing of the head, any habitual and regulatory admiration, and it was actually from Professor J.R. Seeley. Is it worthy to be called a religion? According many things that are music and science, and also called civilization, as these things are now organised and being believed in, from the form of general religions of our times. yeah. Now, like, religions and beliefs share the same human factors but aren't always synonymous with each other in religion. As you can't define religions liberally, that covers everything non-rational, like, no matter how much you believe that you believe in your beliefs, or how compulsive a behaviour is, and like the word religion ceases to have any actual meaning. And a definition of religion must be able to differentiate between general beliefs and specifically religious beliefs. And even some beliefs that are strongly tied to religion aren't necessarily religious in nature. Like the belief in gods. But my fact that theist doesn't mean that a person is religious in any particular way. Now, like the basic belief of what religion is, like Christians, Muslims, and deists are all theistic, and merely the belief in God doesn't make a person religious. It can make him a theist. It's like believing in a God and actually praying to it can be like two separate things. Now, likewise, it's not the case that any supernatural related beliefs can be automatically counted as religious. In nature, and like those beliefs become religious once they're part of a works out transcendent system, like written down and codified and like passed on to like the others like around them and spreads from there. And like transcendental beliefs is like religions explain that involves things that are somehow out of this world in like some specific way or whatever. A hidden or can be like a hidden order or entire hidden realm. A spiritual existence that can be hard to realise while we're here on this earth. Like, and some authors and people use words such as holy or sacred to come up with this concept. And it's like someone called Mujan Mohammed. It's like Merlin uses these in the very first sentence, where he begins to discuss like what religion means. What wholly is associated with theism in particular, so as a poor choice can be kind of like a poor choice in the discussion of worldwide religion, and sacred might not always be that much better. But both are like reflections of transcendental values, and like the neutral term transcendental is more widely applicable to a lot of things. If there's like no transcendental elements, a religious belief would merely be a philosophy, superstition, or supernaturalism, and its organisations would be philosophical schools or individual believers. For example, like to believe in ghosts is to have a supernatural belief, but doesn't make the believer part of any particular religion. And like where there is bringing back up our friend William James again from 1902 in Varieties of Religious Experience, where he says, where one has to characterise the life of religion and broadcast in most general terms possible, one might say it consists of the belief that there is an unseen order and that our supreme good lies in harmoniously adjusting ourselves thereto. And he kind of added, main kind of characteristics and characterizations to it. Now that the world would be is a part of a more spiritual universe from which it draws its chief significance, that union or harmonious relation with that higher universe is our true end, that prayer and inner communion with the spirit thereof, be that spirit God or law, is a process wherein work is really done, and spiritual energy flows in and produces effects, psychological or material, in the phenomenal world. Here we go with part 2 of this video, as my video kind of stopped partway through. And it's not much more on religion now. And it's real world effects might not always be true. Deists believe in passive God, but strictly there's no scope. The production of effects of as a result of prayer or worship of God. It's we've already seen Steve Bruce's definition of religion as he approaches the question of transcendental beliefs, as religion then consists of beliefs, actions and institutions which assume the existence of supernatural entities with powers of action or impersonal powers or processes possessed of moral purpose. In the aforementioned book by him, Religion of the Modern World, from Cathedrals to Cults, he kind of divides transcendental beliefs into supernatural entities and impersonal powers, both of which have a moral purpose. And this is and in his discussion he points out that you cannot refer only to the supernatural entities, as that doesn't suit some religions, and that it's a wise move to add transcendental orders have a moral purpose and can be hard to find an exception in the world of religion. It's deism has a head is at its head as a theistical figure. Forgotten what I was up to. Sorry about that. There we go. A theistic figure that is uninvolved with our lives, and which does not make a moral judgment of us as an individual. And the intention of a deist god can be as unknown, unclear, and therefore religion does not include a moral purpose that is in its transcendental belief. And the complication is that many deists are not a member of any religion, although the term has become well known, although that some do consider deism as a general to be its own religion. Although it can be with just one defined belief. And if you want to include deism as a general description of religion, it's why you can't really stipulate that religion should have a moral order. It's because religion can be common sense that can often include codes of morality, gives mandate for from a supernaturally great being, supernatural force, or from the will of the universe itself, and it can manage to cover both theistic and non-theistic religions, but can also admit that not all religions necessarily conform to requirements of a moral order. As we know by now, that defining religion is not an easy task. And religion is not merely a paper-based issue. It's stating that I am this, I am that is not always enough. And religion should be something that is truly held to be meaningful to an individual, and affects actions. And in short, religion is because most people understand that beliefs naturally affect people's behaviour, and this in a way that is political, philosophical, or just whimsical. And isn't much point saying that religion, and there might not be much point saying that religious beliefs can affect behaviour as well. And William James knows that religion signifies a state of mind, and generally it can exclude parody religions such as the Church of Flying Spaghetti Monster, Pastafarianism, from being considered a true religion. But I'm all about equality and that kind of thing, and if you believe in Flying Spaghetti Monster, then you believe in Flying Spaghetti Monster. Although they are making a serious point now about daftness of dogma, and underlying transcendental beliefs are not religious or serious. Therefore, parody religions and philosophies aren't always considered as religions. Although Jediism is a bit more serious and maybe a little bit more serious, but still isn't considered a religion. And to briefly finish off religion, organised religion and folk religion. Organised religion is a post-literate form of religion, which is a set of formally defined beliefs. There are formal documents or a formal body of people who can interpret formal beliefs. In the modern world, there are many beliefs that are not part of religion. Therefore, literate individual beliefs are not religious unless they specifically or consciously accord with a known doctrinal system. Not all personal beliefs, however, can accord to the individual's declared religion, and folk religion is a pre-literate form of cultural religion where superstitious community practices have established themselves overnight, and that rounds off religion for us. And to briefly go over a cult. It's a cult is a system of religious veneration and devotion directed towards a particular figure or object, a person, or can also be a person or thing that is popular or fashionable among a particular group of section of society. Can be a relatively small group of people having religious beliefs or practices, regarded by others as strange or imposing excessive control over members. And it can be a misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular thing. And it kind of came from the early 17th century word, originally denoting homage paid to a divinity, and from the French word culter, or Latin cultus, meaning worship, and from cult, meaning inhabited, cultivated, worshipped, from the verb cadere. like in short, it's like an overwhelming number. It's like it can be hard to say what is a cult these days with like so many different groups of religious people. And so there's kind of like two ways to define a cult. Like the first is to describe a cult as popular in the secular media. From this perspective, a cult can be a religious or semi-religious sect where members are controlled almost entirely by a single individual or organisation. And like this kind of cult can be manipulative, demanding total commitment and loyalty from the followers. Like converts can sometimes be cut off from all former associations, including like their own family. Now, like the Hare Krishnas is like the family of love led by like Moses David Berg and Sun Myung Moon's Unification Church are some kind of like be explained as cults. And the second way to define a cult is like which is popular in evangelical Christian circles. From this perspective, a cult is any group of that deviates from the orthodox teachings of historic Christian faith being derived from the Bible and confirmed through like ancient ecumenical creeds. And it's like in Christian cults, like these cult groups kind of deny or distort fundamental Christian doctrines such as like the Trinity, like the deity of Christ and salvation by grace through faith alone. And it's like some cults would fall into this category, but not really to name any. Like, but it's like most of these cults claim to be like Christian, claim to be Christian. And can even consider like the Bible to be authoritative, but they kind of manipulate the scriptures to fit their own beliefs. Although like they may claim that to say like Jesus Christ and even use the same terminology that Orthodox Christians use. Even though like the definitions can be vastly different from like mainstream Christianity. Well. And it's like these groups might not always lead to like Jesus or of the Bible, but like another version of Jesus and the Gospel. And like many people might reject these teachings and earnestly contend for a faith which was once and for all derived to the saints. And it's like and like the Bible goes on to like admonish that we do not with gentleness and with respect, and like some people might go out inside the community and try and actually get people to join them as they're a bit more proactive like this. Like that. And yeah. And it's like throughout the history of mankind this has been like natural. Like, so what is the difference? Like throughout the history of like mankind, it has been natural for people to worship something, whether it be like a god, deity, gods, like a god, like a single god, got many gods, ancestors, deities, kind of thing. And it's like which kind of started off as animism that eventually morphed into like major world religions we have today, and like some people claim that there are some dozen major religion in the world today. Well, I would say that there could even be hundreds and thousands sort of different religions and religious beliefs and practices, and learning the difference between a religion between like a religion and a cult. You can kind of draw your own lines on like what a cult and religion is. And it's like in the traditional sense, like a cult is a new religious movement that has a limited numbers of followers who practice may or may not be mistakes or possibly unsavoury, while religion can be a method of thought that is meant to give meaning to a man's life by putting him in communion with a higher power through like stories and rituals and beliefs. And it's like, while in the modern sense, a cult is a secretive group that brainwashes its members into engaging in obscene and harmful practices for the sake of a charismatic leader. While religion hasn't really changed, and it's like as from the traditional and modern sense of cult, the word like cult has changed. So kind of like changed significantly over like the past couple of years, and like because of like people like Jim Jones who sexually abused his followers, and like other cults like supposed cults like Amish and Mikio have committed like high profile crimes such as the sarin gas attack that took place in the Tokyo subway. It's like, and to join them they might be like different. It's like a cult these days you generally join through coercion or persuasion, and to some degree or another, like the person is told that the best way to solve their problems is to join that group, and they are then given like unconditional love by like the cult and its leaders, while they're at the same time being like alienated from like family and friends. And it's like, well, with religion it's generally like a family affair, where like the children of like a couple might raise their children with certain religious traditions, and follow the path of initiation and like a full membership, which may include like ceremonies. Or when like an adult who wishes to convert to another religion must approach that religious leader of that particular religion and ask for guidance and study before being formally accepted. And it's like in both cults and religion, people can find acceptance and belonging as they give their practitioner as a framework from which to understand the world. It's where they might have a codified set of beliefs and external practices, however, while religions mutual respect for each other, so like cults are almost universally vilified, except by people who may belong to it. And in short, like cults and religions are where people can belong to a group and receive a way to interact with God and the world around them. It's like when cults are generally considered like cults can be generally considered to be secretive and legitimate, whereas religion can be seen as open-minded and legitimate. And then cults can be joined through coercion, persuasion, and whereas religion is generally inherited. So there's a lot to religion and cults and all. So like, let me know in the comments below what you think about religion and cults, and if you think there's a difference, or whether you believe in whatever you believe in and why you believe. So, au revoir.